Mr. Tusk said the European Union would walk away from its Brexit transitional and withdrawal deals with the UK. An Irish agreement is reached between Westminster and Brussels. Addressing MEPs after a meeting of the Council, its president made clear to the UK that the EU will not allow any compromise on the issue. Mr. Tusk said, "The UK's decision on Brexit has caused the problem and the UK will have to help solve it. Without a solution, there will be no withdrawal agreement and no transition." As Brexit news, Donald Tusk says EU will block withdrawal and transition deal unless Irish issue solved. Without a solution, there will be no withdrawal agreement and no transition. Donald Tusk, the former Polish Prime Minister, said the Council will once again assess the state of the negotiations in June, but hopes the positive momentum will enable both sides to hammer out an agreement. In the background, negotiations are moving on with Theresa May's EU Sherpa Ollie Robbins to meet Michel Barnier's deputy Sabine Weyand in Brussels. The pair were scheduled to meet last week, however. This was delayed because of lack of progress on the Irish border issue. It will be the first time trade is discussed between the EU and UK at a senior level, potentially providing landmark progress for Brexit negotiations. Dublin has already signalled its intention to block any withdrawal deal unless the UK satisfies its border requests. Ireland's Deputy Prime Minister Simon Coveney said he would only use the backstop in place, which would see Northern Ireland aligned with much of the EU's laws and regulations, as a fallback position. British MEP Nigel Farage bemoaned the stalled negotiations, describing them as a slow, endless agony. He didn't blame the EU for its refusal to offer compromise, insisting Mr. Barnier is only protecting the interests of the remaining 27 members. However, he sent a messaging to Mrs. May, warning the Prime Minister she risks failing to deliver on the promises of the Brexit campaign. Mr. Farage said, "For Brexit voters, this whole thing is a slow, endless agony. We didn't vote for a transition deal, we voted to leave." I'm not in the least bit surprised of the intransigence of Barnier and the EU's negotiation team. They've got to defend their empire, which, of course, coming under sustained assault from voters everywhere. But in the face of all of this, the British have rather blinked, and you get the impression the Prime Minister doesn't really believe in Brexit. She's just carrying out the will of the people. I'm concerned we're heading for a really bad deal from a British perspective.